The Inca Empire. Rise, power, and fall of a civilization. High in the Andes Mountains lies the majestic city of Machu Picchu, one of the last standing testaments to a once great empire. The Inca Empire, or Tawantinsuyu, meaning the Four Regions, was the largest and most sophisticated civilization in pre-Columbian America. But who were the Inca? How did they rise to dominate the Andes? And how did they fall so swiftly? So today, we journey through the rise, achievements, and eventual collapse of the mighty Inca Empire. Origins and expansion. The roots of the Inca civilization trace back to the early Andean cultures like the Wari, Moche, and Tiwanaku. But it was in the early 13th century that the Inca people, originally a small tribe in the Cusco Valley of modern-day Peru, began their remarkable rise. By the time of their peak in the early 16th century, under the leadership of emperors like Pachacuti and Huayna Capac, the Inca Empire stretched over 2,500 miles, from present-day Colombia to central Chile, encompassing over 12 million people. Expansion came through conquest, diplomacy, and the strategic use of alliances. Government and society. At the heart of Inca society was the Sapa Inca, the divine emperor considered the son of the sun. The state was centralized, authoritarian, and deeply hierarchical. The Inca imposed a unifying language, Quechua, and organized society into units called ailes, extended family groups that shared land and labor. A unique labor tax system known as mita required citizens to work on public projects in exchange for food and protection. There was no money in the Inca Empire. Instead, redistribution was handled by the state, which stored surplus in vast warehouses along a network of roads. Infrastructure and engineering. Perhaps the most extraordinary legacy of the Inca is their engineering. They built more than 25,000 miles of roads across deserts, valleys, and mountains. Suspension bridges made of grass ropes spanned gorges, and runners known as chasquis carried messages across the empire using a system of relay stations. Agriculturally, they mastered the Andes with terraces carved into mountainsides and advanced irrigation systems. Cities like Machu Picchu showcased stonework so precise that the blocks fit without mortar and remained standing despite centuries of earthquakes. Religion and culture. The Inca religion was polytheistic, centered around the worship of Inti, the sun god, and Viracocha, the creator deity. Temples like the Coricancha in Cusco were adorned with gold, considered the sweat of the sun. Priests held immense power, and ceremonies included offerings, music, and on rare occasions, human sacrifices, especially during crises like droughts or eclipses. Though the Inca had no writing system, they recorded information using quipus, knotted strings used to track census data, resources, and perhaps even narratives. The Spanish conquest and collapse. In 1532, the Spanish arrived, led by Francisco Pizarro. At that time, the Inca Empire was weakened by civil war between Atahualpa and Huáscar, and by epidemics brought by earlier European contact. Pizarro lured Atahualpa into a trap, captured him, and demanded a ransom of gold, the largest ever paid. Yet after receiving it, the Spanish executed the emperor. The conquest was brutal and fast. Spanish forces, with native allies and superior weapons, took Cusco by 1533. Though resistance continued in places like Vilcabamba, the empire's fate was sealed. The legacy of the Inca. Though the Inca Empire fell, its legacy endures. Millions still speak Quechua, and Andean communities preserve elements of Inca tradition, dress, and agriculture. The ruins of cities, temples, and roads continue to fascinate archaeologists and tourists alike. The Inca left us more than ruins. They left a story of innovation, empire building, and resistance. A civilization without wheels, steel, or writing, but one that reshaped an entire continent. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of the Inca. If you enjoyed this exploration of one of history's greatest empires, please like, subscribe, and share. Let us know in the comments. What do you think was the most impressive aspect of the Inca civilization? Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning,